Ahoy there, Bluey fans. Here we find 3 adult males in their natural habitat speaking about a children's show that they love. And wishing you a very, very merry new year.
It started David Attenborough, ended up a little bit piratey at the end.
Well, this
got a bit aggressive in tone.
This episode gets a little bit piratey, or a little bit nautical, but we'll get to that. We'll get to that. Hello, merry, everyone, for the New Year's times.
Yes.
Hello, Frank.
Hello, Brenny.
Hello, Martin.
Hello, Brenny.
My 2 first mates that I'd like to sail on into the new year with.
Ooh, aye, Captain.
Yeah.
Can I be midshipman?
Sure. Yes. I was feeling a bit funny about having 2 first mates. I don't know if that's allowed, but Midshipman Marty. Yeah. It has a certain ring to it.
Midshipman Marty, not bad.
Ding, ding.
This episode of the Hammerbump Project is called Happy New Year.
Here we are. And what we do is we do 2 things. We wish all our listeners a Merry New Year all the time. Well, not all the time, but just at the start of a new year.
Only once a year, yeah.
Only once a year. And
But
the other
very profusely.
very profusely.
A lot.
Profusely wishing.
You know, it's incredible that we can fit it into one part of the year, how profusely we wish you a Happy New Year. And the other thing we do here is to just bark down these episodes of Bluey as they keep coming off the iView. You know?
Bark Down, it's banned. We're not doing Bark Down.
No, Bark Down wasn't bad. Recap was bad.
Like, checking out inbox is acceptable.
Which we should do later.
That's right.
Yeah,
absolutely.
should we do that up front or should we do that later?
Let's do it now.
Let's do it now?
Yeah.
Oh, well, before we do, I keep hinting at the episode that we're going to do, but Frank, would you mind hinting at it so profusely that it's obvious? And by which I mean, what episode are we doing?
This episode of Bluey is profusely called Whale Watching.
Yeah.
This is such a good episode. And we will get to it. But first, we got to get to you guys. Because you're awesome and you keep sending us emails.
So we did this episode about finally replying to some emails that had been sitting there just for a little while.
Yeah, a little while.
And then we, repeatedly put our email address out there. Now, in fairness to Brenny, you were correct.
I was correct. We didn't put...
Josh doesn't say it.
We didn't think... we're young people, guys. We're young, hip kids. And we didn't think the kids were using the emails these days.
We put our
we
Facebook...
thought they were on the Twits and the Facebees.
The Twits Facegrams.
Yeah, we thought that's where all the kids were. But I guess we're just too hip and young for even the kids. And you kids are using the emails.
Well, let's respond to an email. Checking our inbox from, you used the word kid. Hello, Mr. Finn. He got to be our youngest listener that I'm aware of. Basically, he is a guy 11 years old.
That's right.
An 11-year-old gentleman took the time to write to us. Big Bluey fan and a fan of our show.
What a legend, Finn. You're a legend.
How good. And he said, I just wanted to ask you guys about your opinion on the rainbow baby theory, that is Chili having a miscarriage. Of course.
Yeah.
Now,
I think we said what we'll do is that's tied to the episode of the show.
Correct.
So we got that on notice. We're going to get around to the show pretty soon, and I think we'll break it down.
Yes. A beautiful episode, and holy moly. And normally, Finn, I would leap at these two with rolled up newspapers, but we've granted them special clemency because of your lovely email, mate. Thank you so much.
Yes, so that's good. I've sort of been emailing backwards and forwards with Finn as he responded a couple of times, and he asked what our scheduling was and how often the show comes out. And I was like, well, that varies depending on how busy our lives get.
Yeah,
how sick our children are.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, look, the other email we got was from Madison. Basically, she starts off by saying, Brendan, the puns are much appreciated.
Thank you very much. I had a sneaking suspicion.
She's the one.
She's
the one who likes your puns.
I knew there was somebody out there.
There you go. We found them.
Thanks, Madison.
So she graduated high school in 2020 and tells a story of how she's from Victoria. Of course, the lockdowns during COVID times were very, very strict in Victoria. So she's trying to do her HSC, so her final year of high school. And then one of her teachers was clever enough to bring an episode of Bluey into the classroom. The episode was Shadowlands. And in particular, that episode, of course, talks about perseverance, through adversity and all these things going on. So she showed this to a room of pretty depressed teenagers. And the short story is it did the trick, brightened up her life, the life of all her classmates. And now, several years later, she's a big Bluey fan. She says, your podcast is my absolute favorite thing to listen to. You guys are so genuine and funny and professionally unprofessional. I think she understands
I
us.
think she gets it. And Madison, honestly, when Frank let us know about this email, I was at work and it just turned my day around, man. I think that was so cool of you, and I'm very flattered that you enjoy the podcast. And also, I'm so sorry, man, that you've had that year 12 sort of like high school experience, because it was just really, my heart really went out to people in high school at that time.
Yeah.
But I really do believe that the sort of fortitude and the lessons that you will learn from that, you guys will have something special taking into the rest of your lives.
100%.
That you managed to do that, and that you should wear that as a badge of honor. That with everything else going on, you really came through that time, and
you had that to deal with, and you still, came out on top.
And just we're privileged to have you as a listener.
She did also go on to mention, P.S. if this gets mentioned on air, I might get some "Morning, Wendy" looks from the unnecessary screaming coming from my person.
Nice. Morning, Wendy.
So apologies to Madison's neighbours.
Yeah.
Good morning, Wendy. Morning, Madison.
One more quick one from Sarah, who says, "Good morning from Connecticut in the US.
Oh, wow.
My co-worker and I were discussing reusable water balloons and wondered if they were a thing in Australia."
Right. Well, I remember having this spongy water balloon that was like, it was in cloth, so you kind of wet it and got it sopping and throw. It was just like a Nerf thing, but it wasn't Nerf. It was like one of those water sports sort of thing. I remember having that. But that's the closest thing I could think to a water balloon that you could reuse.
Water balloons, by their definition, are that burst of water. So I'm quite curious how a reusable one works. Is that just not like filling up a bucket of water and hurling the bucket with the water intact in it at someone's head? Like, is that not the same effect as... I don't know.
I think the answer to this question is they potentially could exist in Australia, but none of us... No, the three of us don't know about them because we like traditional water balloons.
Yeah.
Like, we're all about the tradition of like tiny little bits of rubber everywhere.
Related to water balloon, now I don't know if either of you two remember this. We were at our friend Greg's place back in the day. It was a really hot summer's day, and there was, it wasn't not intentional, but next thing you know, Greg comes out with a bucket full of water balloons, and then it was on. It was a really hot, balmy day. We're in the backyard.
You say not intentional. That Greg is a rat bag.
He is a little rascal, isn't he? And then, I think somebody had a Nerf gun or something and filled it up with water, that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And then I just went, all right, I need to up the ante here. I went around, I knew where their garden hose was. So I go up to the tap, and the
garden hose always trusts. Your super soaker could be as good as you want it to be, mate.
Unlimited
but it's
water.
Garden hose.
Unlimited water supply. The way their house is positioned, basically the kitchen window looked on to directly where this hose was. And I remember about reaching for it and then just sensing that someone was looking at me, and I've looked up and there's Greg's dad, who at that point, now we all know Ray quite well now, but at the time...
I called Greg a rat bag. And then we got to level up if we're going to get to the rat bag level.
The rat bag runs in the family.
Yeah.
Now, I must confess I didn't know him especially well at that time.
See.
And so I sort of froze and went, oh, deer in the headlights, going, I've been busted here. And he looks at me with his straight face, and then just in an instant goes to a big old smile and a thumbs up. And I'm like, okay, it's on.
So right. And can I just say, Sarah, Connecticut is beautiful. I know in the last episode, in our Christmas episode, we spoke about me
name dropping
London and New York. I did get to New York through Connecticut.
Is this the part where you say you've been through Connecticut? All the states?
Let me just list off the states I've been to.
No, we don't have time for that.
California, Oregon, Idaho,
He's been everywhere.
Wyoming, North Dakota, South Dakota, Kansas, Colorado, Utah.
Wait, which one is Brenny's mic?
Slide it down.
He has been visited all the states in America, even if he did that
All
thing
the
where
contiguous states.
Yeah,
that's a fair point, actually.
And then I went to Nevada, Arizona, New Mexico.
volume going down.
But yes, no, Connecticut was beautiful, and I really liked it. And it blows my mind that you're in a different hemisphere listening to these three jokers. So thank you very much, Sarah. We really appreciate it.
All right, and the last inbox that we have is from Jared. He says, I've been following the show for a while. He's also a frequent visitor to the Bluey Wiki and thought he'd point out something that we brought up in a recent episode. So as soon as I read this, I was like, I feel like he's going to call us on something we did or didn't get right. Brandy's last name is given as Cattle on a poster made by one of the crew for the episode that shall remain unnamed because we haven't done an episode about it. However, we don't actually know whether that's her maiden name and by extension Chili's at that point.
Yeah, that's a good
Maybe
point.
we could
Now, I was supposed to look this up, but I'm doing it right now.
Cool story. Padding.
Yeah, padding. I reckon, because the only reason, and I take your point, the only reason why I thought that Cattle might be Chili and Brandy's maiden name rather than like maybe we're suggesting a possible married name for Brandy. Chili's mum is listed on the Bluey's wiki as Mrs. Cattle.
Right.
So whether that's just
Okay.
so it wasn't the Brandy angle that I was thinking. I was thinking the Mrs. Cattle. But it still stands. Maybe she kept her maiden name, Chili's mum, and maybe they're not part of the Cattle family. But the only picture we've got of Mrs. Cattle looks like it could be enlarged from a photo because there hasn't been much development of that character.
Sure.
So that was the only thing I was thinking because the mum is listed on the wiki as Mrs. Cattle, but maybe that's not official. I don't know. But yes, the mystery is, I will concede, more open than I made it sound.
Good job. Well done, you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jared. That's all of them.
That's all of them.
They're all done.
That's the whole inbox.
We're actually up to date.
Oh,
We're
great.
actually up to date.
We didn't
Fantastic.
But
Aisle 300.
no, not yet. We will say,
Wait.
let me see how I go. hammerbunproject@gmail.com.
There you go.
That's it.
hammerbunproject@gmail.com.
Do
Keep
it
them
in your
coming, guys.
best. Do it in your best Josh voice, and we'll just tack it on to the end of the episode.
Josh has got this. He's got a caramel voice. I've recorded him sing before. It's quite low. Hammerbun Project. No, it's more breathy than that.
hammerbunproject@gmail.com. @gmail.com.
He's got this really interesting.
Not bad. I was there.
gmail.com.
Yeah,
I could imagine him, reading the weather in that voice. Dream job.
which he does daily, whether we're listening or not.
So whale watching, anyone?
An episode of Bluey, mayhaps we shall talk about.
So I know we've alluded to it on another episode where perhaps Chili and Bandit were a little bit under the weather. Shall we
is
say?
New Year's after all.
This is clearly the New Year's episode. They make reference to it a couple of times.
I love the skirting around actually spelling it out
Because we were just really tired.
Tired,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, we saw you.
Are you sick? No, just
We just stayed up last night. Yeah. Oh yeah, because we saw you dancing on Uncle Stripe's, dining table. Like,
because they were on the phone to Muffin, and I think Muffin saw them. Muffin saw Chili.
Yes,
what?
yes.
She saw that? Yeah. Yeah, because she woke up when Stripe
yelled "Cannonball!"
Classic Stripe.
And so to go on with that nautical theme, we've got Captain Bluey and Passenger Bingo.
It's so good. It's such a fun nautical time.
And I love that it's the whole time. Is it passenger or customer that she
customer?
refers
She
to?
says
Customer. You're right.
because it was just. I think that's a more universal play word that they use. Customer,
Yeah,
and it's
customer,
when they're lying there going, "Look, I'm just so not ready to play today."
Yeah.
You just hear off camera. hello, customer, or
Yeah,
welcome back,
that's right.
customer, or something.
yep.
And they go, oh, boy.
Oh, no. Speaking of oh boy, the problem with checking our inbox the way we did is we've skipped our regular scheduled stop
We
before we
totally
get on the
freaking
boat.
have.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You didn't see him raising his hand?
Look, I'm here for 1 week and you've already forgotten me.
You're old news.
Yeah, I really am. Like, I'm in the junk folder already.
No. Throw it to him. Throw it to him, Frank. Come on, make him feel better. Throw it to him.
Marty, would you care to take us through the whale bones of this episode?
Oh, nice. Yeah.
I was trying to think of one. That was way better than what I had.
Okay, so in very much the same way that William Hogarth's classic painting or print Gin Lane is
A personal
discussion
favourite.
from 1751.
Of course.
Yeah.
No, I believe
It was 51.
Yeah.
Because he began in, no.
Yeah. As that's a discussion and, showing the moral problems around drinking gin, how it was debaucherous and all those sorts of things, made you forget your children and all that sort of stuff.
I love gin.
This episode is really just, showing the issues around drinking New Year's and what impact it has. Just extrapolating on that and what impact it has when you have children and you don't really have the capacity to interact with them because you're hungover. And that's pretty much that's the episode description.
Pretty much.
It's like
It's done.
the kids want to play whale watching and
Mum and Dad
Jillian
don't.
Bandit just really don't want to have to do anything.
Yeah.
Because the phrase "it's got to be done" gets thrown around a lot these days. But you're there at the party, you're with the family, it's a safe place, you're an adult.
Well, there's no rule stipulating what has to be done.
That's
right?
true.
Maybe that got to be done involves,
true.
bending the elbow.
That's true. That's true.
I will say, when we watched back this episode, my wife was sitting next to me and she knew we were going to be recording this very shortly. And she goes, here's my little 2 cents.
Mm-hmm.
Drinking takes on an entirely different context when you know there's a little person the next morning who gives no qualms about what you were drinking the night before.
Yeah.
It really does,
got
because
no
in the
limit.
back of your mind, you're just sitting there going, I'm enjoying this right now, to your point, Brenny. Everyone's there. But then there's this little voice, usually that sounds a lot like your child, going, oh, this is going to hurt
This
tomorrow.
ain't going to be easy.
Really bad. I don't ever want to leave this couch. Where are the kids?
Yeah.
Like, they're just like these parents that we, lord, and just like it's like they don't wear their children on, and they really don't mind at that point. They just don't want to
They're
go.
all about playing the games,
Oh,
but
yeah.
not today.
Not
this
today.
year.
Not today. I love the turning on of the TV. Is that maybe I'm
yeah,
jumping
yeah.
a little bit?
You are, but that is the last abode of the
Because
damned.
we were saying we brought up the "gotta be done" phrase, and it does come out when they turn on
that's
the.
right.
Yeah.
And we've said before that this show has lots of interesting things to say about screen time
Yes.
and whatnot, but sometimes it's got to be done. Sometimes you're not going to get any arguments putting the freaking TV on just for a second, just for a moment of
Oh, man,
distraction.
just to give you something.
Yeah.
I think that's like it's nice to have that represented in the show.
Yeah.
because I think that is a real moment. As a parent, I remember walking in and you sort of like, oh, I don't want to do screen time just as a thing,
As a
Yeah.
default thing.
as
yeah.
as default, as try and not use it as a cop out. But man, sometimes you just need that gap.
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
you? Seriously. Naomi's favorite game at the moment is we play Monsters. She's like, okay, pick me up. Right, now run.
Are you sure it's not Monsters or Boot Camp? Like,
Oh, it could be the same
Column
thing.
A, column B.
But it's like, one person, you run away, somebody's playing the monster and they come and find you and you go, no, and then you have to carry her somewhere else around this house.
right.
It's their favorite game. It's, you get frightened and then you get carried somewhere else. It was so bloody hot today.
Yeah.
It was so hot.
It
And
was
she's
a
like,
hot
now,
day,
yeah, she always
actually.
like, now run. I'm like, sorry, it's not happening.
Yeah.
I can't run carrying, 11, 12 kilos and
Yeah.
30 something degree heat. But, so it's one of those moments like, Sarah and Duck or just some blue.
Yeah. Yeah.
And look, there is, my wife and I have spoken about this. There is a real sense of parent guilt. Like the one that sort of comes to mind is when you're out at dinner, you're trying to do the right thing, you expose the kid to this sort of scenario, but then they're not sitting still. They're running around the restaurant, getting into all sorts of mischiefs under people's feet, etc. And so you look at each other and you do the little nod and you bust out the iPad or the phone, and then there's always that. You feel like everyone who looks at you, as you're in a crowded space, everyone is judging you. Yeah. And my Ali has sort of openly, said to almost apologize to the people we were with on numerous occasions. You go, I'm really sorry, but it's been a long day. And any of them who are parents, just go, mate, don't apologize. We have been there.
Yeah.
It's quite refreshing.
I mean, here it comes. Not a dad.
Hey!
But I am a living uncle, and I'll get home from work, and Nora's always really excited to see me, and you want to play, but sometimes I just need a minute, and she's usually really good, and I'm very grateful to Aaron and Josh for setting realistic expectations of time and space, and it kind of makes those moments where you do feel like playing, like you kind of value them. And you just go, oh, well, I'm not always going to feel like doing this. And this is really special. I don't know. There is a sense of guilt that, they really want to play with me. I don't want to disappoint them and everything. But also, I try to think that, you're setting a person up for kind of being independent. And if I were to just kind of like sacrifice my time and my energy to just like be there for a kid whenever they wanted to play, then maybe that's teaching a counterproductive lesson. I don't know. That's something I just think about sometimes.
You know what I like to think about, Brenny?
What?
How on earth you can roll up a dog's tail to be the wheel of a ship?
That is such a great moment because I missed it the first couple of times, but when they're just becoming the boat, and she's just saying something else as Bluey's saying something else as she's kind of doing it to make it. She does it
absentmindedly, like she's done it. We've spoken about her skills at working in a fish and chip shop and just rolling up the package. Yeah. She does the same thing with just rolling up Dad's tail. Here's the wheel. All right, let's go, customer.
Oh man!
And like the thing of, and it's in multiple episodes, not many of which we've actually talked about, but the idea of parents' bodies becoming play objects.
Yeah.
You just get climbed on, or
you're a mountain, or you're a sea monster,
or you're a train. For us, Naomi, at some point, like we became trains. It's like, no, lie down. You need to be the train.
we haven't.
I need a train.
We haven't done the hospital episode, have we? No. So roll up those magazines, but they do mention, I'll play as long as I don't have to do anything, or as long as it's something. That's it. I think that's a hospital thing, and that resonates with me big time. If I get to play a game with Nora where I'm just like an object that she's climbing on, or something, that's great. That's awesome.
I think you've said before, like, stories.
Yeah.
Like, I could read stories all day.
I don't know what it is. Like, I thought that would, I'll be reading all the time. I will take that any day of the week over anything. Oh, man.
Yeah. And that's the other thing with kids. When you were talking before, Brendan, it's kind of like, when do you stop?
Yeah.
Because each additional thing is just only one extra bit. And it's like, I'm a bit of a douche if I don't just like agree to do this little extra thing.
Yeah.
But before you know it,
they can just guilt you.
10 kilometers away, you've driven there and you're like, It's like every step, it's just one more though. Just one more.
And what's the problem?
I guess
you've done it 6 times, but it's just one more. You only have to do this ridiculous lifting me and throwing me around thing one more time.
Yeah, exactly.
It's never just one.
It's that marginal cost. But I guess that's what I was trying to get at before. Just like I try to quell my guilt by just thinking, this is a valuable lesson. But maybe life is gonna. Maybe I sound like my dad. Or life isn't gonna bloody be there for you all the time. It's not a free ride. So I'm like, if I kind of make myself believe that I'm helping to set realistic expectations for this human being, then maybe that makes me feel better about the fact that I'm guilty, that I just want to sit down for a little bit when I go home. One thing that Nora is loving playing at the moment is pretending to be a dog. We've got this soft world globe. It's just like a ball that she just wants me to throw so she can pretend to be a dog and go and fetch it.
Nice.
And it's awesome because she'll come up and I'll be like, oh, good dog, good, fetch the ball. And I'll throw it all the way over the other side of the lounge room, and then I've got a good minute.
Yeah.
If I throw it in a good spot before, and
you're like,
Yeah, the ones where it's kind of like the good ones are where you figure out a way for them to tire themselves out with you.
oh yeah,
Because the other one's like, he's like, run. I'm like, well, how about you run and I'll time you?
yeah.
Those sorts of ones
Nice.
where it's kind of like,
Pro
you,
tip.
how about you go get that thing and I'll stay here.
and you bring it back to me. Yeah.
And then we'll play the game where I'm lying down. Playing doctor is another good one because it's like, oh no, I'm sick. Bring me medicine. Bring me this.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of outs. Unfortunately, not when you're having to be a whale.
No,
Like-
I was gonna say that on the surface, being a boat seems like a pretty sweet deal, but that's
Yeah.
before the whole rough seas thing comes into
No,
it.
we hit smooth seas, which is a great line. We
Point
hit
of fact, we have not hit rough seas.
Yeah.
Second point of fact, whales should be jumping, like,
Yeah.
or something to that effect.
Yeah.
For
Whales can't talk.
Whales can't talk.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
right.
yeah.
For the condition he's in, Bandit's retort game is pretty on point in this
Oh, man.
episode.
Yeah,
Like, it's not often that he gets one up over Chili.
that's very true.
But in this scenario, Chili's not really trying. And in fairness, Bandit,
Chili stirs the pot in this.
Oh,
she
Tidal wave.
yeah, that's right.
Like you didn't. If you want the
Glass
heat to be off
houses.
you,
Yeah,
Chili.
that's it.
But that just goes to say that it's all fun and games, and she does kind of like subconsciously want to share the load there. I don't know. I don't think she genuinely expects that she can do something like that without reaping the effort later.
But I tell you what, she does manage to do. She manages to change the diets of whales.
That's so
what do they
good.
eat? Usually something green and healthy. She goes, yes, but this whale really loves corn chips. And I tell you what, Chili, I'm 100% with you there. When you're on that couch and you do not ever want to leave that couch, corn chips, chef's kiss.
And
Like,
and when she picks it,
drink.
the can opens off screen. You
Yes,
don't even
it
know
does.
she's got it yet.
oh, so good.
And she pulls it up.
Glug, glug,
So
glug,
good. That whole sequence
that is
so
both
good.
the least and most mum we've ever seen her be.
Yeah.
in
Oh
one
boy,
sequence.
100% well put.
But I love even how it starts. It's just like, okay, Dad, you're going to be the boat. Like, no, I don't want to be the boat. Da, 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 da. Okay, finally, I'm going to be the boat. Okay, Mum, you get to be the whale. And it just
Bandit's like,
cracks, and then it just gets cut off.
What? You did find that very funny.
And there's some great ones. Oh, one of the things I love is like he gets to a point where he's like, oh, for and you can see
the animation.
you can see
Yes.
the F. And you're
Yeah,
like,
it's very cheeky. It's
yeah,
so
very
well
nice.
done.
The sound's not there, but the lips
They
are
took
there,
it.
so
They
you just
took
read it.
They took it
Right up to
as
the line.
Right up to the line. Brilliant. And I love that when she is eating the chips and the drink, is that all framed within
Yes,
the
with the
viewfinder
camera,
of,
yeah.
of
And
the
you get
fake
those sort
camera?
of zoom effects, and
So
sort of zoom
good.
slide.
That's
yeah.
so fun when
Yeah.
they're just like, oh, there's this like
Yeah.
punch zoom
Yeah.
in, which I don't know how that would have actually happened.
yeah.
But what is it like
it's just
a little?
bingo.
like
It's
a
just
little-
bingo extending her
a couple.
arms
Yeah.
in front of
But
her.
it's perfect. So funny.
The old girl's not very lively today.
They're both just yeah.
And then
they
Chili's
want-
eyes.
Oh man.
Oh, she doesn't give him one of the funny things is she's not in the position to give him the scowl
No.
because she's
Yeah,
just not
she's
in
not-
it
she's
either.
not up for it, yeah.
there. Up to 5 bags a day.
They're both just taking pot shots. I love that.
Boy, those whales are really good mums. They do anything for their kids.
Oh boy. Yeah. When that doco comes on and Bandit just layering it on. Wow, aren't they great mums? Speaking of the doco.
Yeah, voiced
Yeah.
by.
Natalie Portman.
Correct.
Yeah.
And do we know how that came about?
Mhm.
Natalie Portman
yeah.
was
I've
in.
heard this story.
I don't know if she was in Australia for filming the Marvel movie Thor: Love and Thunder.
Yeah, okay.
And so paparazzi following her as they do. And it's Natalie Portman. Why would you not want to capture a photo of her? But she was spotted with her young son, I believe, and they had a Bluey book like in her hand.
Yeah, okay.
And so I believe the power of social media made its way to Ludo, and they just went, "Oh, really? So let's chat." And I believe she was only too happy to lend her voice to the David Attenborough-esque voiceover of the documentary.
Yeah, she should have opened this episode. I'll just get on that. I'll just
give her a call.
Give that phone on.
Yeah.
Boop, 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 boop. No, you got her on speed dial somehow.
Just to insert a bunch of clips from like the prequels.
No.
Okay.
But,
I just wanted to know where the line was.
One of the other things I love, because we were talking about the TV remote in the last one, I think.
Yes.
I love the TV interface when they're scrolling for the doco. It's just like one of those things that like Bluey always classic for lots of detail on that stuff, and they just capture the sense of like, this is Netflix or this is
the UI of it.
This
Nat
is the UI,
Geo or
that's
something,
it. And like, you just sort of the way it cycles through and all that sort of stuff to find the doc. Let's make this informational. Let's make this educational, kids. Let's put on a documentary. Slightly less guilty that way.
Yeah. And I do love the moment where, maybe I'm jumping ahead, but when it switches off, just the moment where you could see their reflection in the screen.
Yep.
I don't know, like of course, like why wouldn't you do that? Because that's what it would be. But I just thought it was a nice moment. I don't know.
It reminds me of an episode of Community.
Okay.
Where same thing, and I think it's one of their Christmas episodes where they all get magically turned into like claymation puppets.
Yes, yeah. Stop motion animation.
You're correct. And thanks for Man's Best Friend explaining.
No,
good way to start the new year.
Normally, I wouldn't Man's Best Friend explain something as trivial as that, or maybe I would, but only because it's a pivotal part of that episode of the Community where they have that level of pedantry. So do I today.
Cool.
You were saying?
And I believe the final shot is they these animated versions of them turn the TV off. And rather than cut back to say, oh, look, they've all turned back into regular humans, all you see is their reflection in the TV.
All right.
But as, back to normal.
There you go.
People.
Yeah.
So I wondered if that was a little nod because Community is a great show.
It is a great show.
Long Dog?
Ooh, did you spot one?
I didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's under the TV. It's in the TV cabinet.
There you go. Yeah. Those long dogs.
Oh, man.
They'll do anything for the... No, I was going to say they would be
I am
mums,
getting a lot better at spotting them. I'm so happy with myself.
It's almost at the point where you see a shot and you go, I don't need to look at this character in the foreground because there's shelves in the background.
In the background. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Dad, we can't hear the TV. So many good lines. Like, Dad, we don't want to hear you talking. The TV's on.
Oh, man.
You've stepped down in terms of importance.
And then who doesn't love a good slow-mo?
Free Willy.
Oh, man.
And, complete with the slow motion look up and then the slow motion just squeal of pain from Bandit just going, what was that? Like,
I missed a trick. Bare Bones should totally have been Free Willy.
Do it again.
Okay, so this week's but
that animation with the corn chips coming
flying
up to help to give the idea of some like
the waves,
the wash
splash,
and the splash and brilliant.
Weak.
Weak.
Honestly, we just need a supercut of all Bandits and Chili's all the little quips backwards and forwards.
Yeah. Especially like the right at the end because the kids are really satisfied with the effort. Yeah. It's nice that they kind of get rewarded when they do finally go, we don't
need whales and boats anymore. We're going to live on this island.
It's like the kids are satisfied that, the parents
had our fun. Mum and dad made an effort.
And they're like, really? You're going to go live over there by yourself? And then I can't remember what Bandit says, but Chili responds with, whoa.
Yeah.
To end the episode.
All right. Finish the episode. Need some Naomi's picks.
Naomi's picks.
Okay, here we go. Because this is usually, I'm lying on the floor and she's like, I have to go and haul myself up and find the remote so I can find the particular one.
Just like the episode.
Is the Naomi's picks intro too much for every time?
I think you enjoy this more than anyone else, Brendan. You just like listening and editing this.
Yeah. I do like hearing you sound really stressed out that you can't find an episode.
Naomi's Picks.
I don't know which one that is. I'm really sorry. A lot of them have balls in them. Can we find another ball episode? Please. No, it has to be that one. Okay.
It's just so good.
This intro's getting real long.
I just love making you do it.
Okay.
Awesome.
Well, what have I
Naomi's
got?
Picks.
Okay,
What have we got?
all right,
What have we
here we
got?
are.
Go.
So I've actually just got a document now that I put them all in, and my wife knows now as well. Ali's, she'll come in from the other room. I'll be like at my desk working, and she's like, "Yeah, this one is now that." Okay, I'll put it in the
Yes,
doc.
put it in the letter.
Put it in the letter. Storm one?
Storm one.
Oh, is it?
Is that-
Mount Mum and Dad?
No,
Is it Explorers?
no,
Ooh.
Storm one.
There is a.
The Pirates?
nope.
Oh yeah.
Storm one. Rain?
Cinema.
Sinner, because it's on the
the
movie.
okay,
It's in the
sure,
movie.
It's
sure,
in the
sure.
movie.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
a storm.
Yeah.
That's really funny.
To make this accurate, what I should make you do is say, is it in the beginning, middle, or end of which season? Because this is what you would have to be doing.
Yeah, 'cause
Yeah,
to then find it,
yeah,
even if you know the
Unfortunately,
episode.
we can't do it today. I'm going to have to do it in future and actually do notations.
Okay, sure.
I haven't actually written it down, but
That is-
this is what we really should be
Yeah,
doing.
yeah,
because You're just figuring out what the episode
Yeah.
is. I have to know where it is.
Find it.
Yeah.
And fast.
You seem a little bit upset that we're having fun doing this, but for you, when it's actually happening, it's not
pretty
fun.
It is
stressful.
not fun. Okay, the sun one.
It's the sun one. Not beach.
No.
Sun. What's the sun?
Oh, Sleepy Time.
No.
Oh, come on. It's got the sun.
Yeah, I mean,
There's a big fiery thing in the sky.
Shadowlands.
It's meant to be there. Oh, come on, guys.
I know. I'm ashamed.
Whoa.
Yeah, you should be hitting me with papers left, right, and center.
Oh, so it's something we haven't done.
Yeah. It's born yesterday. Come on.
Oh, of course.
See, I got that one.
I still
Okay.
don't get
yeah,
that
well,
one.
you're her
How?
dad.
Greenie episode.
Greenie. Oh, Greenie. Keepy Uppy.
No.
What?
Oh,
Oh, Mum School.
Mum's got correct.
yeah,
Ah.
nice.
I knew it was
Okay,
balloons.
all right.
I knew it was balloons.
All right. The one with the hands.
Is it Mount Mum and Dad? No, it's not.
No. Close though.
Not tickle
Something
crabs.
like.
One with the hands.
Yeah, it's where their hands are all.
Everybody
Oh,
at home.
Taylor's
Blue
screaming
Mountains.
at you.
Blue Mountains. Blue
Blue
Mountains.
Mountains.
Yes,
yeah.
thank you.
Okay, well done. So yeah, there's some Naomi's picks. I'm sure people are. You guys, not very good today.
It's-
Sorry, not
We're a
impressed.
little bit,
Everybody at
under the
home.
weather
Boo.
from
from
New
what's been,
Year's.
oh man, just don't make me remember things.
Yeah,
What?
we're all a bit
It's a bit
hazy,
hard.
you know.
Yeah.
Not up for it today.
Oh, no. Oh, and I don't have a small child that's going to bother me in the morning. Sucks to be you.
Brendan's just not so loud.
Too early.
loud.
And I don't really drink that much anymore, so I'll just come in. Hey guys, how are you this morning? You think you got your kids to worry about?
Okay, no, come on,
I'm
Brendan.
that chirpy idiot friend.
Just
Brendan,
Hey.
I'll just make you some toast.
Do you want-
Go in the
I'll
other
put the
room.
TV on.
We'll
Okay.
Put some bluey on.
Hey,
Just
I could use this to my advantage.
what? To actually watch the episodes before we
I
talk?
don't
Whooshka.
Oh no!
Got this, he says.
I already broke my New Year's resolution of being nicer to Brendan. Oh no!
Oh, don't ever do it. It's good content.
What did our mutual friend Geordie say? I think he was giving Brenny a
Yeah,
bit of
that's
feedback
his-
about the show.
his
And he goes,
favourite parts.
the funniest parts are when Marty gives stick to
when,
Brendan.
when Marty gets stuck in the...
I hadn't heard that.
Oh, you hadn't heard that? No,
Yeah, thanks,
those
Geordie.
are Johnny's favourite bit. Well, I might as well go full pirate because that's what me David Attenborough turned into. And I'm not gonna stop. I'm gonna be like
where is
this.
the rum gone? Oh, Uncle Strike
Where is the
drank
rum
it all
gone?
last night.
Where is the rum gone? Why is the rum gone? Why is the rum gone? And there's a bit where it changes. Like, why is the rum? The rum is gone. Why
Yes.
is the rum gone?
Yes, the rum is gone.
Oh boy, the references. But listeners, thank you very much once again for tuning in.
Is that something you say about podcasts tuning in? Thank you for streaming. Thank you for downloading. I suppose that's the more right what you would say.
It's gone a bit Irish now.
Yeah, it really has.
It's gone a bit West Country.
Yeah.
It's gone a bit your farmer's accent.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Like, well, maybe I'll stick with that. I used to date a girl who couldn't stand it when I put on voices, but there was something about this voice that made her laugh, and I think it was because it was a little close to Hagrid, and she was a Harry Potter fan, and so no matter what. If I was doing another accent,
if she was in trouble,
if I started doing a West Country accent, she couldn't help herself. She'd just laugh and laugh, and then I was off the hook.
You know, this all started because of David Attenborough voice. Look how far we've come.
I don't count David Attenborough in my repertoire. Maybe he's very good though, isn't he?
He's very mellow.
And over here, we have Brendan desperately trying to find a way to finish the episode. You can see him scrabbling around in the depths of his mind, trying to find a convenient segue to get to the phrase
Resorting
aisle 300. Say left at the fake grass, Brendan.
Oh, is it me? I thought Frank was going to keep
It's
his
a
normal.
new year.
New Year movie.
We need to do this.
left at the fake grass.
And if you hit a rare African pink flamingo, you might have gone a little bit too far on New Year's.
On New Year's.
New Year's.
Created and produced by Frank, Brendan and Marty. You can follow the Hammerbarn Project on facebook.com/HammerbarnProj, at HammerbarnProj on Twitter, or Hammerbarn_project on Instagram. Theme featuring Nibblings, Kaylee, Jade, Ashley and Reese, and PA announcements by brother-in-law, me, Josh. Thanks for listening, and remember to get down to Hammerbarn for cheap shovels.